Let's start with the left tackle spot. Okay, Monroe Freeling, obviously, he's on schedule to be back this fall after that shoulder surgery, but his absence gave Bo Hughley and big Jazair Jackson a ton of reps this spring. What are your expectations from that group?
Well, obviously, Monroe Freeling coming back with experience and tried to play against Notre Dame, was really banged up. I saw him a couple weeks ago. He's healthy. Let me give you a little inside scoop on him. Last week during testing, he goes 5'140" at 320 pounds. So Monroe Freeling, he's back and he's ready to go. I'll tell you this, Bo Hughley, all these guys that play left tackle at Georgia, look at Jazair Jackson, probably 6'10", talking about basketball.
Yeah, come on, ridiculous.
I think Georgia's in a good spot there. They got some very talented guys, but right now that goes through Monroe Freeling.
No doubt. Shock, let's look at that left guard spot. Micah Morris, now a senior, ton of reps under his belt, and behind him, Jamal Merriweather is a guy many believe is better suited to back up Morris than maybe playing that tackle spot. How comfortable are you with these guys on the interior?
The thing I'm most comfortable is if this guy's played. He's had a chance to get in the fray. He's got a chance to play in some really tough environments, and he's got a chance to learn from a lot of good players who've been in that position. And the other thing is, look at the dude's legs. Look at his body. This guy is made to play guard in the SEC. So it runs through Micah Morris for sure, but having good depth is always good. But this guy is going to roll grade people, and it's one thing that Kirby Smart and his staff went into this offseason saying is, we want to run the football, and he's going to be a guy that you can say, all right, we want to run the ball, line up behind him, and we're going to pulverize some people. But I think we're in a good spot with him and obviously everybody that's in that position.
Rusty, how do you feel about Merriweather's, I guess, progression?
Listen, it's like Micah Morris. You wait your time at Georgia. It's time for Micah Morris to play. If Merriweather has to come in a little bit earlier than expected, he can still play there. But right now, this is Micah Morris's time. He's waited his turn. Jamal Merriweather. It's funny, two Southeast Georgia kids, one from Brunswick, one from Camden County, starting for the Bulldogs.
No doubt. Now let's look at the center position. You got to be thrilled to have Drew Bobo back, right? Started in
Watch
the place.
my man electrocute this guy.
This is one of the craziest plays from last year. One of my favorites.
Goodness.
But
get out of the way, bro.
He started in the place of Jared Wilson a couple of times last season. He held his own. But how comfortable do you feel about the guys behind Drew Bobo? Guys like Malachi Tolliver and the transfer Walt Claire Flynn.
Well, the good news for Georgia is Drew Bobo's coming back. This guy's played a lot, and I think they depend on him. He's a leader in the offseason. I'm not going to beat around the bush now. This is a very big question in behind him.
Sure.
A lot of inexperience, and in the offense that Georgia runs right now, you got to make the calls. So they got to have one of these two guys to step up. I would think Malachi Tolliver right now has the edge going into fall camp, but somebody's got to take that second position behind Drew Bobo.
No doubt. We look at the right guard spot. Shock, this is the most intriguing position on this offensive line to me. Daniel Calhoun, he's now a redshirt freshman, battling it out with classmate Michael Uni, but we can't count out the true freshman Juan Gaston either in this spot. How comfortable are you with whoever starts at that right guard spot?
Here's the thing. All these guys are highly recruited. All these guys that Georgia wants to have in their system, and they were really big and physical guys coming out of high school to start with. But here's the other thing I know about how these guys are going to be ready to play. They got a guy in Stacey Searle. They got a guy in Mike Bowe. They got a guy in Kirby Smart who this offseason, I just mentioned it, they talked about getting more physical, being able to run the football, but also you're going to have guys on the other side who are not going to take it easy on them. You're going to play against the best in the country every single day. By the time game one comes around, these guys will be ready to play. Yeah, they don't have the experience, but these guys will have that experience in practice, in the game, and Kirby Smart, they're going to push them in practice, in camp. You're going to make sure they're ready to go because you don't want to wait to game one to figure out this guy's ready to go.
I'm going to tell you right now, don't sleep on that true freshman right there. And I know you
he's
say
a monster, man. Come on.
That dude is 375 pounds, former AAU basketball player, and he came to Georgia, to play early. That right guard position is going to be a huge battle in camp.
No doubt. Let's look at the right tackle spot. Ernest Green coming back here. This is huge, right? Looked comfortable in that spot at G-Day, but is this where we could maybe see, you talk about Juan Gaston, could he be the number 2 there? And what about a guy like Marcus Harrison?
Yeah, I think you look at Ernest Green and being healthy. He had a great year 2 years ago. He locked down the left tackle, just battled and played through a lot of injuries last year, really kind of struggled at times, but he was hurt. He sucked it up and played. He moved to right tackle, a more natural position for him. Again, you bring up Juan Gaston. I think Juan Gaston is just too good not to play some. Georgia likes to rotate 3 tackles. They've done that in the past. Will it be Monroe Freeland, Juan Gaston, and Ernest Green? It wouldn't surprise me down the line.
And that's a good point Rusty made there. You look at all the lineups that they've gone through the last couple of years, they play 8, 9, 10 guys if they need to, because just for the instance if a guy goes down, they got to have a guy ready to go. So expect a lot of guys to play on that front.
No doubt. Let's look at the guys who are going to be running behind those big linemen. This 2025 Georgia running back group, guys, this is as deep as it's ever been under Kirby Smart. You got Nate Frazier, Roderick Robinson, Cash Jones, Chauncey Bowens, Dwight Phillips. Those are your returners. Then you add former Illinois running back Josh McCray from the transfer portal, and then the true freshman Bo Walker, who Rusty can't stop talking about. Shock, let's start with you. How do you think this depth chart kind of plays out?
Yeah, I love it because you have so many guys who can do a lot of different things. I mean, just talking about Bo. First off, everything you hear come out of spring is this guy's going to play. He's going to get a chance to run downhill. This is a guy who I talked to a few people. They say, you know what? When he gets the football, he knows nothing about juking going left or right. He wants to go right through the center of whoever's trying to tackle him. He will have an opportunity to play because of that physicality. We know we're getting cash. You saw Nate have a really good look last year. Can Roderick stay healthy? That's a big part of it. We saw Peanut. They use him in a lot of different ways. This will be a running back room that Mike Bubba will have a lot of different options to use these guys in throughout their system. It should be fun to see how they utilize all of them.
You look at, like I call it the thunder and lightning. You got Roderick Robinson, you got the new guy from Illinois, but Cass Jones is the guy I think that gets slept on a lot. He can hurt you in so many different ways. He can run between the tackles, but in the passing game, he's such a mismatch. Got a big touchdown there against Notre Dame. He hurt Texas in the pass game.
No doubt.
Cass Jones, this is a guy. Don't sleep on him, man. He is going to be money.
Yeah.
So where do we think this run game is compared to last season? Obviously, that was a struggle last year. We just talked about the offensive line and the depth they have there, and adding all of these running backs. Do you think Georgia kind of gets back to that one of those top rushing teams in the country status?
I think DJ would agree with me right here. It was the complete focus of the offseason. I guarantee you Mike Bobo and Stacey Searle spent countless hours in the film room trying to get this fixed right, and that did not set well with Mike Bobo and Stacey Searle. I guarantee you right now the Georgia run game will be better this year.
So they changed the way they worked out in the offseason to make sure they're a better running football team. So you got to make sure they're going to be ready to go when the fall rolls around.
Well, we can't wait to see.